I know you're going to love this one, Pete, and I'd love to ask you, where are they now? But there's a play in this game with Ohio State and Texas where two roommates at Ohio State, one of which left Ohio State, Mr. Ewers, and he went down to the Longhorns and became a star down there. But these guys were roommates, this defensive end / linebacker and Mr. Ewers. So let's see if you guys can remember this in the college football playoffs.
It's not do or die, but it's close.
It's close.
Pressure comes. Sawyer knocked it out and picks it up.
So he runs into the roommate, smashes him from the backside, so the right tackles sucked it up on that one. And he makes it the whole way down there. How great is that?
Look at the coach. That way. I think he knew which way.
Yeah, I think he knew which way too. I'll tell you what, John, that's a bad man. And I mean that in a positive way. That Jack Sawyer, what a fun kid to watch play in college. He's in the NFL with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The guy's a total stud. And he's kind of, I think they're using him kind of as a tweener, where he's sort of an outside rusher, edge rusher, sort of, almost a linebacker in some ways or whatever. So the NFL does a lot more and more of that, where they're doing that with those outside guys. And just to change it up sometimes. Maybe they drop back or whatever. But he's a heck of a football player, and that kid impressed me all year. It wasn't just this play or this game. That kid was pretty damn special. I'll say that. He was a
well. How about this, Pete? There was another Ohio State player that was a tweener like that probably is wearing 3 or 4 Super Bowl rings, and that would be Mr. Vrabel, who's now coaching out there with the Patriots. Ohio State gets these guys that are those tweener size guys on defense because they really emphasize speed. And obviously that kid had pretty good wheels. He might not be a 4.40 guy, but I guarantee he's pretty quick off the ball.
Yeah, and he's got size, so he's got it all. I mean, that's what makes this kid so damn good. He is a baller. He plays football whistle to whistle, and maybe even beyond the whistle sometimes. So some of us kind of like that. All right, John, should we jump to a little bit of sports?
Sure.
All right, so tonight the NFL begins. The Hall of Fame game is tonight, and 7 o'clock kickoff. I tell you what, football is back. It's pretty exciting. I'm actually going to be over tomorrow for a brief time anyway, over with the Minnesota Vikings at one of their practices. They were nice enough to invite me and give me the opportunity to hang around and just see what they look like, and all that type of thing. Should be fun. But the Hall of Fame game, that's going to be pretty great. You've got Arizona playing Carolina, John. I think that part of it's pretty cool. They're sitting out Jacoby Brissett because he is the starter, at least as of right now. And Gardner Minshew is also somebody that I don't know if he's going to play or not. So you know what that means? They drafted somebody that a lot of people were sort of surprised that they would go and grab him on the draft. I thought it was a genius idea, quite frankly, for the Cardinals. Carson Beck, yes, he's a little bit older. He's been around the college football for quite a long time, it feels like. He's been there with Georgia. He's been there with Miami. The kid's a big, tall, strong kid. Nick Saban disciple coaches that have both coached him or whatever. I'm pretty excited for this kid. He went in the 3rd round. I think that he's a little bit better player than maybe whatever, the analysis was, which is why he was in the 3rd round, not maybe the 2nd round. Was he a 1st rounder? Probably not. Was he a 2nd rounder? I think he probably should have been. But they were fortunate enough that he was still there in the 3rd. And so they've got him, John, and it's going to be pretty exciting. And I think the kid's going to be out of his mind excited, right? Because it's a great opportunity. Usually you're not going to get the 3rd string guy getting in there to start the game. But, in 5 years, here was his numbers at Georgia and Miami, John. 88 touchdowns, 32 interceptions, almost 12,000 yards, and 69% completion. Pretty damn good quarterback, I would say. What do you think?
Well, 30 touchdowns last year, Pete.
Yeah.
At Miami. And that's why he brought him right to the edge of that national championship, like we said. Mm-hmm. He also threw for like 3,800 yards last year. and against obviously great competition in the SEC when he was at Georgia. Certainly down at Miami, he did himself proud, and they got that close to making it over the hump and even beating Indiana. So do I give this kid a ton of credit? Yep. Could he light it up? He could. Minshew might be wishing he was healthy enough to be in there tonight, because if this kid gets 4 full quarters of work, Pete, he might show a lot that they can't keep him at third string much longer.
Right. Yeah. I think when they drafted him, I kind of think both those two quarterbacks, because Brissett's getting a little bit gray. Let's be honest. He's been around for a while. And Minshew, kind of the same thing. I think they're both very good quarterbacks, or at least good quarterbacks. But Carson Beck could be a very good quarterback. And I think time will tell. But the guy was paid a hell of a lot of money to play for Miami. And Miami, to your point, damn near won the national championship. I mean, that game was damn close. So it's not like they got ran out of the building or anything like that. All right, John, I've got a question for you. NCAA college football. Who do you think could be a dark horse potential to get into the playoff this coming year? And so obviously I'm not asking for Ohio State and Oregon and those guys, because those are probably pretty much locked up. But I've got 2 schools. I'll give you my first one, and you can go and do however you want to do it. I'll give you my first and my second one. Big 12, Oklahoma State. It's a school that not a lot of people pay as much attention to as maybe they should. I think that they got a great coach when they went out there and decided to go. They got 65 new transfers that came there, John, from a coach that was at North Texas, and they brought in 15 of them were from North Texas. The rest were from around the country. They have rebuilt Rome in a day. So I think we'll see how it plays out, but I like the coach. He's a winner. I like his analysis of players that he's brought in. It's a brand new team in a lot of different ways, and they could be pretty damn interesting. So I get Oklahoma State from the Big 12, and I'll say just real quick, USC from the Big 10. Because you think about the Big 10, nobody's talking about USC. They're talking about Ohio State. They'll obviously talk even regardless, but with Michigan, Indiana, Washington, Oregon, yeah, they all get a lot of call. Hey, yeah, these guys are great. People aren't talking about USC and UCLA. I think USC actually has put together a pretty damn good football. Lincoln Riley stumbled at first, but now I think he's got the right track for USC to potentially be one of those playoff teams.
All right, well, I'll throw 2 at you, Pete, and one you know intimately well, which is Clemson.
Yep.
Clemson, because in the ACC, let's be real, Pete, they don't play as many teams in the ACC as in the SEC. That's just a fact. You guys can argue with me if you want. I doubt if Pete will argue with me, but that doesn't mean that it's a cakewalk. But I think Clemson's got a shot, and your boy Debo, I think he is a great coach. This could be a chance for him to get into those playoffs, Pete. But the number 1 pick for me, BYU.
Yes.
And I know that's a shocker to you, though. But you know why? Easiest effing schedule. I mean, oh my gosh, you look at anybody that's got a shot at getting into the college football playoffs or CFP. These guys have the easiest schedule on the way there. That makes a huge difference. Yeah. Because get this, they don't play Texas Tech. They don't play K-State. They don't play Oklahoma State, the team that you were talking about, Pete. Yeah. Now, would they have to play them, in a playoff? Yeah, but you could still, suppose you were 10-1, and then you go to the playoff and you lose to Oklahoma State or something. You could still make it in.
Yeah.
Because, again, unlike Notre Dame, they're not an independent. But they don't have to play a bunch of those really good teams. Who do they have to play? Notre Dame and Utah. Now, those are not easy games. But if you have one of the easiest schedules in the NCAA, and those are your 2 games that you really have to focus on, Notre Dame and Utah, I think you could kind of be ready for them. And if you split with those two, I'm not saying they will, but if you split with those two on this schedule, I think you make it into the playoffs.
Yeah, yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think that's a great call. As a matter of fact, I'll give you a really, really dark horse as well. South Carolina. Last year, you and I talked about that quarterback. That quarterback was a stud. Last year, he was a dud. He didn't do it. He did not answer the bell. I think this year, for whatever reason, I think he does answer the bell. He seems like he's got a new attitude. He's a great quarterback. He's a big, strong guy. I think he's going to be really, really interesting, and that makes South Carolina pretty interesting because last year, for whatever reason, it didn't work, but I think this year it will. So they have a shot. It's an outside shot, but they got a shot.
Well, folks, we appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you check out the Rebel Investors Club. If you go to marketrebellion.com, you'll see it right there. You could join and get comments from Pete, from me, from our analysts and so forth, as well as access to, pre-market IPOs. In other words, the Anthropics of the world, the Androls and so forth. It's a great spot to get great information and access, even to crowd funds, if you want to know what we're trading and so forth. Mm-hmm. So go to marketrebellion.com, check it out. And as you know, we don't do the show on Fridays, so Pete and I will be waiting around until Monday. Mm-hmm. At what time, Pete?
1 p.m. Eastern, John. We'll be there. You need to be there because you're going to want to know about the stocks that are moving around and obviously have some fun with some of the sports stuff as well.
Absolutely. Thanks, Pete. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.